2025, what a year it has been. Peak enshittification has hit the fan, and it's up to you where it goes next. Today I'm going to break down the key moments, trends, controversies, and highlights of 2025 in the world of tech business. I'll be handing out my own awards, and you have to let me know if you agree with me or if I've missed some important moments. We are, after all, currently in our own little bubbles floating through the world, often unaware of what everybody else is being fed by the tech giants. The context for 2025 has been kind of dismal. Right-wing and authoritarian governments are running rampant. Mindless, ego-driven autocrats have been holding everyday people in strangleholds. Wealth polarization is worsening, with 0.001% of the population controlling 3 times, yes, 3 times the wealth of the entire bottom half of humanity. And everyone seems to have just started to ignore climate change. AI has been dominating this year, and perhaps that's going to be a statement that we will make every year from now on. Maybe I'm going to sound really naive saying this in 2025 when we look back on the kind of stranglehold that AI might have in a few years to come. But what really does scare me about where we are right now is the convergence of all of these things happening at the same time. The high-powered governments denying climate change and doing nothing to stop it. Rapid growth of AI under the control of very few individuals, most of whom are in the US and China. This is not only increasing wealth inequality, it is also further increasing power inequality. Instead of head-on tackling these big dystopian issues, we've been creating AI slop and watching a lot of reality TV. Or at least I've been doing a lot of the latter anyway. There is a sense that individuals are focused on their own wealth, their own struggles, their own worth, and their own personal visibility. And for many, community, advocacy, and purpose just gone by the wayside. I actually do remember when things were more like that, and I'm starting to feel really nostalgic for it. On to my very quick personal reflection for the year. I actually have personally had one of the best years of my life. I've started to lose patience with the bullshit, with the rubbish, with the despots and their hollow words. It's reinvigorated my own need to be disciplined, to increase my knowledge, to refine my voice. Because my voice has been hibernating for quite a while. I've been out of practice and I've been out of self-belief. But I realised I need to put the work in, and where possible I need to be connecting with the people who are already doing work to make a difference. And I'm ready for my own personal de-shittification in 2026. I'd love to know what your year has been like in 2025. Let me know in the comments. So in this video, I have got a whole bunch of awards categories that I'm going to be giving out to reflect what a year 2025 has been. From the biggest moments to the biggest scandals, and a little bit in between. So let's get stuck in. Oh, and if you want to know who's judging this, it's me. How have I decided who the winners are? I haven't yet. We're going to do it as we go along, so there might be some surprises in there. So the first category is biggest moments in tech business. The nominees are the TikTok deal, because it's starting to answer the question about national sovereignty and software/social media. The Australia social media ban for kids, because it starts to answer the question about whether or not we can have meaningful regulatory control. The US-UK tech prosperity deal, and it being put on ice because it answers the question, can we really have international collaboration? The emergence of DeepSeek, yes, that happened this year because it has started to ask the question, where are the big AI power players? And Liverpool becoming the fastest company to reach 100 million ARR, because it helps to answer the question, what kind of tech startups do people really want to use right now? And the winner is, drumroll please, the Australia social media ban for kids. I chose this winner because I think it shows real progress when it comes to governments stepping in and doing the job that they need to do around technology. Do we know how this is going to roll out? No, but what we do know is there's plenty of data about the damage social media can do to young brains. So that's why I'm giving this deal the Biggest Moment Award, and I look forward to seeing what happens in the future. Moving on to the next category, the most villainous moments. If anything, this year has been like watching a whole bunch of James Bond villains sitting in their lair and plotting the future for all of the rest of us. Here are the nominees for the most villainous moment. Elon Musk's pay deal, because his main motivation was having control over an army of robots, something no single person should be able to do. The next nominee is the tech CEOs showing up for Trump's inauguration. Oh, what a difference a decade has made. All of the idealistic little boys from 2016 who kept their distance from the president all realized that they could have power in their hands if they came together and kissed Trump's ass. And if this feels particularly American-centric, that's because there are a lot of things going on over there that are particularly villainous right now. Larry Ellison buying Paramount, because this is big tech, big billionaires control over the media. It is the opposite of what we need in our technology world right now. What we need is really great journalism that can speak to power, which includes technology development. Next nominee is tariffs, because they are inconsistent and they are being used to leverage power, and they have made things more difficult for some people and small businesses, but they haven't necessarily made things more difficult for those already in powerful positions. And then the final nominee for the worst villain is Waymo, for killing cats and now killing dogs. If you've seen my video on this, you'll know that I do think it's a little more nuanced, but a lot of people think that this is very villainous behavior. And I have a final last-minute entry nominee for this category, which is the co-founders of Palantir, because this business is quietly getting its fingers into all of the data around the world. And all of that data is in the hands of co-founders who have, in my opinion, very dubious and dangerous political alliances and beliefs. And the winner is most villainous. I am giving it to Palantir. Look, it's even named after something that was often corrupted for evil purposes in The Lord of the Rings. Sure, it can also be used for good, but it all depends whose hands that power is in. Maybe we can distribute that power a little further. So now maybe we're moving on to a category that's a bit more bright and light. What do you think? We're going to talk about the biggest trends. Okay, so the nominees for the biggest trends are AI chatbots, and in particular the use of them and other generative AI tools to create a whole lot of slop. To go even darker than that, and be part of the encouragement of suicide by creating virtual relationships with people who are very vulnerable, for fueling delusions and manipulation, and for all of the water and energy that is used up doing that damage. This has been the predominant trend we have seen this year. Now, I know that there are actually some really positive uses of AI, but we don't hear about them, and we don't regulate enough to make sure that those dangerous risks are mitigated. So what I've seen as a trend this year, and I really hope it changes next year, is all of that slop, all of that danger. Okay, the next trend. One thing that I have heard a lot in the work that I've been doing, and I've seen it here, is how much money has gone into defense. And really, we can't talk about this year without talking about ongoing defense needs across the world, ongoing violence, wars that are happening. And while I'm not focusing on that political side of things, I'm focusing on the tech side of things. it all gets very intertwined. And in particular, we have seen drone warfare really take off. Okay, I'm not even gonna laugh at that because it's not funny that this is happening. It's inevitable that as we develop technologies, they're going to be used in war situations. However, I am more excited about trends in the defense sector that are truly going to act as defense against this weaponry. The next trend that we've seen a lot of talk about is self-driving cars, which is funny because they've barely made it. I've never been in a self-driving car. I have heard an awful lot about them. I have talked about it in my previous video, and there have been announcements that robotaxis will be coming to London. So it's spreading, it's happening, and I think that this draws a lot of attention because of the damage that can be done to everyday people, to everyday pets. It's a much more physical manifestation of a lot of the questions that we have around AI compared to chatbots, for example. The next thing I've seen, and this is actually a more exciting nominee in the biggest trend category, which is a trend towards more security. There is so much talk about cybersecurity, about energy security, about financial security, and I think so many of us are hyper vigilant right now, and this is a real trend. And then the final trend, which maybe you would say has been going on for a few years now, but I think it's really hit the mainstream here in the UK, which is the use of GLP-1. We are seeing people that we know in our communities using mostly Manjaro for weight loss. So those are my trends. And the winner is, it couldn't be any other, to be honest. It is AI slop and the damaging effects of chatbots. Let's change this conversation. Let's move on in the new year. And I know that I have been a part of this as well. If we're going to use these tools, if we're gonna create damage around the world using these tools, then can we at least use them for something that is good? And can we also remember that AI is not just chatbots? Thank you. Moving on to the next category, the biggest corporate scandals. And the nominees are the Meta scam ad scandal, Colossal Biosciences Direwolf scandal, Deloitte's AI fabrication, the trial in the Volkswagen scandal, and finally, the AI bubble. Is that a scandal? Perhaps not, but it's been definitely talked about this year. And if you're interested in more on that one, I have a new video coming up soon. And the winner is Meta, because they were targeting users who are likely to click on scam ads in order to fund their AI development. A globally impactful scandal that builds on top of years of similar manipulation and a lack of consideration for the people who are actually using their platform. So things have been a little dark for most of this video so far. Let's have a slightly lighter category. And this category is social media moments. Social media is digital technology, after all, and I think that these moments tell us something about the world and how it's been over the last year. And the nominees are a bunch of famous women going to space for no particular reason, the Coldplay kiss cam, the conclave and the election of the AI Pope. They made the movie about that so quickly, didn't they? Just kidding. The Jet2 holidays trend, the Sydney Sweeney jeans commercial. It was big. Was it the kind of moment we want to celebrate? Now, I do highly commend it in this category, and that is the Jet2 commercial, because I just went on a very lovely Jet2 holiday, which actually was not like the one in the viral TikToks at all. The winner in this category, of course, has to be the AI Pope, because this is a world leader who is actually having real conversations about a challenge that is going to impact all of us, that is impacting all of us. This is what all of our world leaders should be doing right now. Now, we all must accept the circle of life, and tech products and businesses are no different. In 2025, we said goodbye to some much loved and not so much loved technologies. So it's now time to say goodbye to all of the technologies that were swept away in the undercurrent in our In Memorandum section. We lost Meta's fact-checking program, MetaQuest Pro, the humane AI pin. We just still can't get over our dependency on a smartphone. And nothing else is good enough to replace it yet. GPT-4, one of its most well-known and well-loved models, to make room for GPT-4o and GPT-5. And the slop just got a whole lot worse. We finally said goodbye to Skype and a very cool Sonos-IKEA partnership. Oh, those products were cool, but a lot pricier than my Alexa Echo Dot. The Dyson Zone WTF. AOL, dial-up, and a tool that you may never have used, but I actually did, Microsoft Lens. As we say goodbye to these products, we only dream of a future with better ethics, better market research, and better user experience. So now we are moving on to our final category, other than one special category we're going to have at the end. And this final category is the Still Believe in Humanity category, one that I felt was really important to add this year. And the nominees are Harper Moss, the founder of carbonzero.eco, for being a 16-year-old who is turning agricultural waste into biochar that can sequester carbon for up to 1,000 years. And it improves quality for farmers. The international team of researchers from UCL, Great Ormond Street Hospital and UCLA, who developed a gene therapy for a rare autoimmune condition that affects children. Those treated had a 100% survival rate, and 95% of the children were cured of their condition. Mariam Mustafa, who is using AI to save mothers' lives in Pakistan. She found that critical symptoms were being missed due to rushed consultations, overworked doctors, and a lack of access to trained healthcare. So she created a voice assistant that translates to voice of health, which can capture more patient responses in a shorter period of time, giving the healthcare workers the support and knowledge that they need, and flagging potential risks so they can be dealt with immediately. The next nominee is the AI that is helping people with motor neuron disease get their voices back. Instead of having to speak through a robotic voice, AI can use snippets, old snippets of somebody's voice, and help them to speak in their own voice again. And final nominee is Regreen, the winners of the Earthshot Prize that are using drones to restore Brazil's Atlantic and Amazon forest, making reforestation financially viable and scalable. Okay, who is the winner of this category? Drumroll, please. Ooh, I can't decide who to give this one to. Suddenly I'm feeling way better about the world. I am going to give it to Harper Moss, because I think that this one potentially has the biggest impact on the most number of people. But all of those in that category make me feel a whole lot better about the technology that we're developing, as do all the companies that I get to work with on a daily basis. Okay, we made it. It's time for our final category, and this category is the best leadership moment. I have chosen to give this to a group of founders, even though not all of them had a specific moment this year necessarily. And this is the founders of Canva. Canva is such an amazing startup story. They are making incredible impact. And the founders of Canva, Melanie Perkins, Cliff Obrecht, and Cameron Adams, have signed a pledge to give the majority of their fortunes to charity. How to be an ethical billionaire. If you'd like me to do a deeper dive into Canva, please let me know in the comments. I probably will, because it's a tool that I have used a lot, that I really love to use, and like I said, I think they have a great startup story. Well, that is it for my 2025 Undercurrent Business Tech Awards. Let me know if I missed anyone. Let me know what categories you would have had. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that I can keep making them. Thank you. Bye.